Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco Nation News is presented by RowPaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, by Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Western Collective, by Jackson's, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Bauscher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, by Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and by Timberstone Golf Course. This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, welcome to Bronco Nation News Live. This has never happened, but I've never been scared of a microphone. What's going on? And welcome, BJ. God, you're such a poser. You don't get to change teams like this. You're a Rams fan. Get off it.
Just for you, man. The intro started, and I forgot I wanted to do this. I ran changing shirts real quick. So
no, I'm just giving you crap, too. Congrats on your Chiefs.
They're not my Chiefs. They're not my Chiefs.
They're your wife's Chiefs.
I don't shy away from it. They're the team I root for now, but I'm not diehard, man. I'm just still sad over the Rams.
It's fun, though. It is kickoffs. First thing I thought about when I woke up this morning, ready to go. Love the NFL season. Love what we do. Love the college season almost just as much. And obviously fired up for Saturday night.
Yes, definitely. No doubt about it. But
why don't you host this? I host enough of your stuff, man. Let's go. Come on. Give it to me.
I'm out of breath, man. I'm out of shape and fat. And I was running down the stairs. I didn't realize how much time I had till the show was.
Are you really? BJ, you're such a geek. I love you, man.
I set my timer for 1 minute and I ran back and I was cutting it close. But no, we're here. It's Bronco Nation News Live. Excited to be here. I was looking at our Circa Survivor picks, Johnny. I was talking to you about this yesterday. So we got money on the line for BNN and having some fun. But someone said to kick me out of the broadcast. That fit is atrocious. Come on. This is a nice little hat.
You look good. You got gear.
All right. Big one today at Autzen's or on Saturday. Big show today as we get you set for Saturday's game at Autzen Stadium. And Johnny, we talked to some of the players and coaches the last couple of days. We'll get the coaches today. Spencer Danielson talking today, and here we are 2 days till game day, man. It's getting closer, and obviously a big one for Boise State.
Right. One of the big ones that this program, right? I mean, this could be up there. Feels like it. Oregon ranked where they are. Boise State will be ranked if they win this game. And, they might be the talk of the country if they win this game too, right? People like talking about Boise State nationally, when they're relevant and when they're deservedly so. And they beat Oregon, they certainly will, especially with how they do it. I mean, if Ashton Jeanty just tears these guys apart and they have no answer whatsoever for this running attack and the play action game is kicking defensively, I don't know. They play better. I don't know. Maybe the ball bounces their way. They force 4 fumbles again and they recover 3 of them, right? They're going to need a lot of those things, I think, to go their way. Maybe do something on special teams in the return game. Didn't see much of that last week. Maybe they throw a play here or there to try to, I don't know, give the return game a spark. I don't know, a reverse or something. But that's kind of where I am. And the big thing for me, though, is Dillon Gabriel against this defense. Dillon Gabriel, BJ, think about this. He was a starter the same year Hank Bachmeier was a starter as a freshman. Dillon Gabriel played the entire 2019 season. Dillon Gabriel's thrown, I think, over 1,700 pass attempts in his college football career. Think about that, man. Last week's guy threw 15 career French going into that game? Yeah. Dillon Gabriel's thrown 1,700. Every year he's played, meaning he hasn't sat out or got injured or whatever. He's thrown for over 3,000 yards and at least 25 touchdown passes. I mean, big boy numbers wherever he's been. He's really good, man. And he's going to do well against just about any defense. But for me, that's the one thing that I think is going to decide this game. Dillon Gabriel against this defense. They got to figure out a way to at least contain that offense, try to keep them, under 30? They scored 24 last week. If you can keep Oregon 30 or under, maybe you have a shot.
Trivia question for you, John Mallory, and our guests out there. Who had 2 interceptions against Dillon Gabriel at UCF in the Boise State game in 2021? What Boise State defender had 2 interceptions?
I think it's Tyreek LaBeouf.
All right. And one of them was a pick 6.
Remember that. Yeah,
pick 6.
Felt like a long time ago, BJ. And Dillon Gabriel's still playing, and he's better now. And he has a better supporting cast now at Oregon than he had at UCF, I would guess. He's seriously, he is dangerous. Just look at his numbers. He knows what he's doing. He's seen everything. And he's probably licking his chops with what he saw last week from Boise State's defense and some of those numbers. He's probably thinking, okay, we got these guys. There's no way we're scoring 24 points again like we did last week. Let's go. So they certainly have their hands full with Dillon Gabriel, but I think Oregon has its hands full with Boise State's offensive line and rushing attack, right? I mean, it's not like Boise State's not bringing some serious power tools, into this project too. They're ready to go.
Well, a lot of these defenders, though, like Alex Tubner and stuff, played in that game against Dillon Gabriel, Johnny. I know it's a different team, different whatever, but we talk about Boise State's veteran secondary here, and a lot of these, 4th, 5th, 6th year guys, they've played against Dillon Gabriel. I don't know if that helps or hurts. They actually got off to a pretty good start against them early in that game. He finished 25 of 37 for 318 yards. He did have 4 touchdowns in that game. I mentioned the 2 interceptions. But at least some of these guys, Spencer Danielson and some of these players, have at least played him before. I don't know if that helps or not. But, he's had an interesting path, man, with the whole NIL and how many years you can play college football now with the red shirts and the COVID year and all that. And you're talking about this, but to see where he is at now and what he's done. He has, excuse me, Johnny, he has 4 seasons of at least 3,000 passing yards already under his belt.
And all those years, at least 25 teeters through the air, high level stuff. Most dudes who have those stats, they don't stay in college football very long. Dillon Gabriel's exercised or exhausted his college football career, obviously. And he's kind of like Hank Bachmeier in longevity, but he has way better numbers than Hank and has had much more success in college than Hank, but he's old like that. And what's the percentage? And you guys can comment on this too. I'll be curious. What's the percentage that Dillon Gabriel throws for at least 300 yards in this game Saturday night? What is it? BJ said last time Dillon Gabriel played Boise State 2022 opener, 21 opener. I'm sorry. Was that Andy's first game? Wow, it was. Dylan Gabriel threw for over 300 yards in that game. What's the percentage he does it Saturday? I'd say it's, BJ, extremely high.
Oh, I'd say it's 80+%. I mean, he threw for 380 yards. Everyone looks at that Idaho game, Johnny, and I don't know if you went back and watched the game. I know we were all working, but I mean, he went 41 of 49 pass attempts, and he completed 84% of them, and he passed for 380 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, his numbers are insane for a team. I don't know if I've ever seen a stat line for a team that only put up 24 points. I mean, they just completely, kind of wet the bed in the red zone. I don't know how you want to phrase it, but I mean, they had some other opportunities to score throughout
penalties. Dan Lanning loves going for it on 4th down rather than kicking an easy 3 that's bit him in the ass before. So yeah, they just kind of got themselves in trouble at the wrong time. I went back and watched that game twice now, and yeah, Oregon should have put up 47 points, but hey, they didn't. Trust me, they wanted to, and they didn't. So there is something to be said for that. Maybe for whatever reason, they are going to slow down a little bit in the red zone as they kind of work that situation out with their offense, with it being early in the season. Who knows? Oregon is not a completed project. This isn't a perfect team. I bet Dan Lanning has been on their ass all week. I bet every meeting room, this guy is going to shred you. Ashton Jeanty is better than, he's there. He is feeding his team that. If you sleep, if you fall asleep, if you're not ready for this, these guys are going to come in and run all over you and embarrass you in front of the whole world. Like, Dan Lanning is tough like that, and he's going to have them ready to go, I think. But man, this is up there for me, BJ, as far as being back in Boise for my second stint. Big regular season games. Well, this is huge, dude.
On Riley and Ridge show on Tuesday night, we took live comments from folks that were hanging out at the James. They could walk up and ask a question. And our friend Nathaniel Wilder walked up and asked, he said when, not if, but he said when Boise State gets this upset on Saturday, he said, where would it rank in terms of all-time victories for the Boise State football program? I mean, I believe number 3 would be the highest ranked team they've ever beaten.
I don't think Oregon's 3rd still. Didn't they drop?
What are they? Well, they
dropped 7. They're 8.
Number 8. Wow. Okay.
That's Bob Beeler telling me across the glass.
So well, they were 3rd when we talked about it. And I mean, I don't think it can be obviously ahead of the Oklahoma Fiesta Bowl, but where in season all-time regular season victories would this be number 1?
Let's go regular season non-con. So that eliminates 0-1 Fresno. Non-con regular season. And fans, you guys probably know this more than us. For me, what would weigh this one would be kind of the return, kind of like old school, kind of get back, that's what would be special about this. The other ones all came in like a pocket. And like, for example, like Bob Beeler's telling me right now, the Virginia Tech game,
loves saying on here, Drew,
Labor Day Monday, 2 top 10 teams. I mean, the season was at stake if you lost that game. Then if you were Boise, you weren't allowed to be 0-1. Virginia Tech, sure, but you weren't. And Boise State was able to win in the fashion they did. But for this one, I think it would weigh a lot because it's been a while, and all of a sudden you would get that taste back of what this fan base had for, the better part of half a decade every single year. So, yep.
A couple people say Georgia in 2011. A couple people are saying Derek Morales says when they beat number 10 BYU in Provo a couple of years ago.
What about Oregon in 08 too? I mean, when Kellen Moore to Vinny Peretta, man, holy shnikes, man. I think that type of stuff. That might be up there too.
Yep, Dustin says first win at Oregon with a freshman Kellen. No one picked BSU even having a shot. Let's see. Virginia Tech, big game, reminds me. Now we're going to Autzen Stadium on Saturday. And Johnny, you have been to Autzen Stadium. We have proof right here.
Ah, nice, man.
There he is, John Mallory at Autzen Stadium. Tell us about it.
That was just a fan experience. I went to watch my Washington Huskies. That was 2016 when the Huskies went to the CFP and they went to Oregon and they hadn't beaten them in forever. And Chris Peterson went in there, and I think they put 70 on the Ducks. It's one of the great wins in Washington Husky regular season history. I was at that game as a fan, no press credential. I had a credential, but I didn't use it. I sat with my buddies, and that was a tremendous experience seeing Autzen Stadium completely empty midway through the fourth quarter, and it was just purple. That picture was taken at kickoff, I believe, BJ, but hell yeah, Autzen Stadium, highly recommend. And my Husky fans, my friends kill me for this, but I don't know if there's a better place out west to watch a college football game than Autzen Stadium. Night, day, decent weather. That place just rocks, dude. It's a lot of fun. And the press box is wonderful too for media members, BJ, like fountain sodas, refills constantly. I swear they had prime rib one night when I was there with College Game Day when they were playing Stanford. I don't know if that was Andrew Luck, but like the meal for the media is unreal, dude. They have like a chef there who slices meat up for you. Not joking. I remember it.
See, I was actually looking for the photo on your Facebook page of the Autzen Stadium, you photobombing Maria Taylor for the interview. Where can I find that photo?
Probably on the Johnny Ball Game Show Facebook page.
Oh, that's where I should have looked. Okay.
Yeah. That was when I was covering a game. I just wanted to see if I could get on national television for 5 seconds. I'm an idiot, but mission accomplished.
I'm going to find that while we're talking on the show here. Then.
I think that was Washington State at Oregon. When I worked in Oregon, the station I worked for, we were an Oregon Duck affiliate, right? 2 stations, LeGrand and Baker City. So we got 2 season tickets for each affiliate. So we had 4 Duck season tickets all year. Plus I had media passes too. So it's a long drive from LeGrand to Eugene, but I would make it 2 and sometimes 3 weeks a year to cover the Oregon Ducks. That was a lot of fun. And it's fun being on the Boise State fan side now too, BJ, because this is a rivalry. I'll tell it. These fan bases don't like each other. Oregon fan doesn't respect Boise State fan. They just don't. They little whatever. You caught us when we were at the wrong spot on all 3 times. Like they don't want to give you credit. Like Oregon fan and then Boise State fan hates the fact that Oregon fan thinks like that and doesn't respect them. So, man, this is a fun one. Yeah, I've been on both sides of it, and one of the better kind of nastier, dirtier, newer rivalries, I'd say, out west, right?
So tell us about Autzen Stadium, though, in particular, Johnny. What is it about just the crowd, the size of it, the angle, the fans? Like, why is it such a tough place to play, and what makes it a cool atmosphere? What am I going to enjoy as a college football fan? And I've talked to a lot of people, man, a lot of former players. I know Ridd's going over there. I know Riley Smith. A lot of other former players are going. Like, there's going to be a good Boise State contingent at this game. If you've never been to Autzen Stadium, aside from the prime rib for the media, what are they in store for?
Well, they play this song, this country music star, and this country music guy has this song about the state of Oregon. And at the end of every first quarter, Oregon, they play that on the Jumbotron, and the entire fan base kind of sings with it. And it's a really cool country song about the state of Oregon. And they show old clips of Oregon and Autzen being built on the video board. It's a really well done production. And then at the end of every third quarter, they do the shout from the movie Animal House, which was famously filmed at the campus of the University of Oregon in Eugene. So Oregon has always kind of felt like, hey, we are Animal House. We party. The movie was filmed here. So at the end of every third quarter, they play a clip of the scene in Animal House where Otis Day and the Knights are singing shout a little bit louder now, a little bit softer now. You know that. And in the video, BJ, Oregon has redone it where they have like Dan Fouts in a toga, like a toga party. They have Marcus Mariota, Joey Harrington, LaMichael James, like all these, like imagine like a music video Boise State showed on the Blue, and it was Kellen dancing with Ryan Dinwiddie and all these ex-Broncos like doing the Macarena together. They do that with shout, and the fans love it. And if the game is close, or if Oregon is kicking the team's ass, which they usually are, it gets rocking there. And it's one of those stadiums that holds like 50, 55, but it feels like 70 or 80. They're into it. And by the way, Oregon hasn't lost a game in that stadium to a non-con opponent since 2008 with Kellen Moore. Like, this doesn't happen. It's the last time, BJ. So a lot at stake here. But yeah, Autzen is tremendous. And I never even really went as a Ducks fan. You know, I respect the Ducks, worked in Oregon, loved covering them, but I've never been a Ducks fan. But going to that game, just being a fan of college football, the tailgating, BJ, is really cool. They're probably not going to be open to Boise State fans, though. They'll probably tell them they suck. But if you're neutral, it's just a cool place to party. It's Oregon, man. I mean, there's a bunch of hippies in Eugene. Like, they know how to have a good time.
Johnny, in the last 3 minutes while you were filling, I was able to not only find the photo, but edit it and get it in here. Here is John Mallory in the background of the ESPN. Justin Herbert on the screen, and there's John Mallory.
No shame in my game, man. None.
Not only did you just walk behind the camera, you flat out looked at the camera.
Did. Well, I saw Maria Taylor as soon as the game ended. It ended in overtime. I think it was Oregon and Wazoo. That would have been like 18 or 19. You'd have to look it up. And I saw Maria Taylor right when the game ended, overtime, walk off. So the both teams just like mobbed the field. And it was like, you know, it was crazy. It was a crazy scene. So I just run to the 50-yard line because I know how it works. I know that Maria Taylor does that interview with either the coach or the quarterback right at the 50-yard line. I saw Maria running. I'm like, because game day was there that day. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be the Herbert interview. I see Herbert and I just beeline it. And I was the first guy there. It was the cameraman, Maria Taylor, Justin Herbert, and Johnny effing Ballgame. And we were all just there. And I just stood there and was like, dude, I'm going to see if I can pull this off. I'm an idiot, but it worked. Look at that. Look at that. Me and Justin Herbert. Look at that, man. BJ, I haven't seen that in a few years. That's freaking awesome, man. Wow.
So
I need to put that on a t-shirt, dude.
So was this,
my God, dude.
Was this 16 or 17?
No, it was 18 or 19, man. Wait. No. When was Herbert's senior year? It was, yeah, thank you. I have lost a lot of weight. That was fat ball game. I was about 200 pounds right there. I'm about 160 right now.
Good. Yeah, you're doing great, man. They're loving the tongue out there. Want to know what you're doing there with this.
I'm an idiot. You know, yeah, I can't even have a cool picture. I can't pull that off, right? Of course, I have to do something stupid with my tongue. Like, I'm an idiot, so that happens with me. I try to be there, but I always find a way to kind of bumble turd my way around. But yeah, right there, man. Oregon State, Washington State, Justin Herbert versus, I don't think that was Minshew. It was the guy right after Minshew. But yeah, a really good Mike Leach Cougar team. Autzen's awesome. I wish I was at this game, BJ, but I'm going to be chilling at home watching it.
Sky Ship says I have the same look when Texas Roadhouse brings out the hot rolls.
Those are good too.
Let's see here.
All right, BJ. I move on, man. I mean, nobody cares about this. Come on, BJ. Let's go. Get out
on this photo. On anything else here? I don't know. I love it, man.
Did you see that when it happened? Do you remember that? Like seeing that? Like,
I don't remember that. I don't.
Look at my phone. I mean, dude, it went.
So were you the guy texting people, watch, I'm about to be on TV? Like, did you text people before you ran out, or that was after you opened?
Well, the whole town of LeGrand watches that game, listens to my show, and I know all the, I had like 50 to 70 texts within like 3 minutes. My phone has never done that before. They just like kept coming in, and it was like, holy dude. It's like it worked because I didn't know if I was on at that point. I'm like, was I on? Did I get on? Did they see me? And then I was like, okay, I got some airtime on national TV. It was fun, man. But
if you would have told me in my 12 years covering the team, there's been some same media members, some have gone, some have come, different TV stations, paper, whatever. But if you asked me right now and I didn't know, and you said which media member that you've worked with in the last 12 years is most likely to go stand in the background of an ESPN camera and get himself on TV, it would 100% be you. So, I mean, I think it's right on brand. That's
you would. You'd be like John Mallory instantly.
I think so. I think you're the kind of guy that would strategize that and get out there and get in the background. I liked it. Sky says we definitely care, by the way. Let's see. Cool J said, nice interview on the Autzen Audible podcast. How'd you set that up? They just reached out to me and asked if I would go on, and I said yes. So hope go check that out, the Autzen Audible podcast, if you are looking for that. Let's see what else we got here. A lot of comments coming in. Appreciate it. I do want to get into Boise State, Johnny, and some of the things that they need to improve on and get better at. And I want to get into special guest you had on Ball Talk last night, as well in just a second. But do want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Don't forget Saturday, the watch party. You can join Tyler Shoemaker and company live. He's the visiting game day captain. We're announcing it right now. Tyler Shoemaker is the visiting game day alumni captain for the watch party at Western Collective. You can going out with Tyler Shoemaker, some other former Broncos, and a lot of Boise State fans at the National Bar inside House of Western, downtown Idaho on 6th Street. $3 Horseshoe Gold nails, discounted burgers, discounted drinks, and 10% of all proceeds go to benefit the Horseshoe Collective. So hang out with the Horseshoe Collective, with the Bronco Nation News family Saturday, 8 o'clock for the Oregon game. But I would get there a little early because they ran out of seats last game. It's going to be packed again. Come hang out, cheer, watch the game with your friends. They've already got Peacock loaded. They're ready to go. Saturday, the National Bar inside House of Western. Hope to see you there to watch Boise State and Oregon. Our title sponsor, roepaint.com, roepaint.com. Check them out. All your painting needs. Again, the concrete coatings, interior, exterior, residential painting, industrial, commercial, they can do it all your painting needs. Make sure you check out our title sponsor, roepaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union will be back with the bye week edition next week of the Tyson Degenhart Show. ICCU.com, there's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile eBranch online banking on the app on your smartphone. Download it today. Make the switch. You'll be happy you did. ICCU, Idaho Central Credit Union. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. And man, the Raines family found that out firsthand why that's the case. Helped us buy our home and sell our home. The whole crew, Kelly, Cade, Sarah, Matt, they were just phenomenal. Check them out. Best in the business. No home is too big or too small. Support the sponsors here, folks. Bauscher Real Estate, BauscherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets. You can get 40% off at the checkout line using that Skip app. They got that Cuno location. They got several locations around the Treasure Valley, Magic Valley, up in McCall, all around the state of Idaho and the surrounding states. They've got almost 30 locations in the western part of the United States. So support the sponsors. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com, and Snake River Pool and Spa, thespateam.com. Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. They've been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. And again, Raines family is loving our Snake River spa. And I'll tell you what, if you're looking for, a pool table or a billiards table, dartboard, they got their patio and game section is phenomenal as well. So they got it all for you. Check it out. Snake River Pool and Spa, patio and game at thespateam.com. All right, Johnny, we've been talking to players, as I've said, some of the coaches. We're going to get a few more of the coaches today. You've had a couple days to kind of analyze this defense and the struggles they've had. We've talked about, obviously, the step up in competition in terms of the Oregon offense here. What's your take on what we saw from the defense? How much of it is a huge concern? How much of it is correctable? And the challenge of going to, as we mentioned earlier, Dylan Gabriel and this offense with only, 7 days between games here. Just your take on this Boise State defense.
It's kind of weird, right? At one point in the game, I'm like, okay, Boise State's running away with it. And I wonder if there wasn't the roughing the passer call on the third down that totally flipped the game, if we would have left that game in a blowout, Jeanty probably wouldn't have broke the record because they wouldn't have needed it. And we would have left Bronco Nation would have left with a much better taste in its mouth with its defense. I think they did a good job against the run. I don't know what that's going to look like against Oregon. I'm skeptical about the defense, though, rightfully so. I think I don't think it was good enough. I don't know if that means bring more pressure. I went back and watched the game. When they did bring pressure, it worked. They brought more than 4 several times, BJ. I don't know if that's going to be in the cards. Maybe you want to get the ball out of Dylan Gabriel's hand a little quicker. You think you need to, blitz on a higher percentage than you have been, BJ, something like that. But, kind of like with me, I'm just going to sit back and watch this game and be like, okay, like what's the secondary going to do here? I don't think Oregon can convert 50% of its third downs. Like if they do, Boise State's going to be in trouble. And it's going to be these long drives, these back-breaking pickups on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9, picking up those, and you're just deflated as a defense. Getting off to a good start, like in any game, if you get off to a 14-point lead, hey, just like any game. But if they can get up 10, get up 14, a couple of scores, have some breathing room, that'll help. I'd be worried about this defense with how it's going to handle Oregon's offense, BJ. I would be.
How many points does Boise State have to score to win this game?
35 plus, but I'd say the same thing about Oregon, man. Like, Oregon has to score more than 24 if they think they're going to beat Boise State. They have to convert on this stuff, and they can't get stupid and shoot themselves in the foot and be a bunch of bumble turds, man. I mean, again, they should have scored 40 on that game. They blame themselves for not. They just shot themselves in the foot at the wrong time, a key third down here, a penalty, you put them behind the sticks, whatever the case was. They had it. So I don't think that's going to be the case, but I expect both teams to score over 30 in this game. Absolutely. Ashton Jeanty, man, it's not just because, in my opinion, of the level of competition. I think he's going to do that against most teams. Obviously not a school record every week, but, I'm going to be hard-pressed to find most Mountain West games on the schedule where he's not running for well more than 100 yards if he gets the touches. And I asked Coach Danielson about that, to win the Heisman, you need to have a certain number of stuff. And Spencer basically said, look, he got 20 carries and he got more than his stats needed. He was way under par for that game. And he did it on 20 carries. And he caught 3 balls for 3 yards, 4 balls for 3 yards. Like, he didn't factor in the receiving game. That will change. Oregon, as much as Boise State's defense has its hands full with Dillon Gabriel, Oregon's defense has its hands full with Ashton Jeanty in this offensive line and running attack.
Yeah, we'll see on the offensive line in terms of what that looks like going into Saturday's game. By the way, we got 177 of you watching just on YouTube. So if you're able to hit that like button, we'd really appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube as well. But come on, Johnny, you're watching on YouTube there. Give us a like. We could use as many likes as possible to show up higher in the algorithms and things, all that. But again, for the 180 of you watching on YouTube alone, we appreciate you. We got folks on Twitter, Facebook as well. We do this every morning. If you're just finding our channel, Western Collective Studios. This is Bronco Nation News Live, BJ Rains and John Mallory. So what's the bigger challenge? Boise State stopping Dillon Gabriel or Oregon stopping Ashton Jeanty? And by the way, you mentioned the screen game. I definitely think we see the screen game with Ashton Jeanty in this one because we didn't see it much at all in the game the other day.
Absolutely. I mean, do we see a play or two with Sire and Jeanty?
And
do we see a play? And you're throwing Breezy into this too, like all the full house.
All three.
Okay, you do some wing T or something. You have one guy or two guys back and one guy on the wing.
A direct.
Okay. But I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if we see Jeanty in the slot and Breezy in the backfield or vice versa. I think they're going to throw a lot at Oregon, and Dirk Cutter's really good at this. What's the bigger issue? I would still say Boise State's pass defense against Oregon's pass offense. I don't see how you can't say it's a mismatch. I'm trying to find ways. I'm trying to find big butts, just how I like, right? I'm trying to find big butts. Well, hey, Boise State's defense, but I don't have them. That's a mismatch, dude. Boise State's pass defense against Oregon's pass offense. They weren't even good last week, and they had 380, man. And Boise State gave up over 300 to a dude making his first start. Boise State didn't intercept a dude making his first start that threw 50 balls. I don't know, man. That's a big mismatch. But here's a big but. That doesn't mean they're going to stink all year. It may have been something here or there. I think the humidity really messed with some of the corners. I don't think some of those corners have ever played in that humidity ever. And I think it's a son of a gun. I think it got to them, especially later on in the game. They were gassed. That won't be the case in Eugene. Maybe that's the difference maker, BJ. Maybe it's the pressure. You got to bail the corners out a little bit. You got to help them out more, and you got to pressure Dillon Gabriel and get that ball out so they don't have to cover as long. It's one of those deals.
I kind of joke about it, but I do think at some point we see Ashton Jeanty in the Wildcat formation. And, man, wouldn't it be something to see Jeanty in the Wildcat with Dubar and Gaines behind him? I asked Sire Gaines, it sounds like Breezy Dubar is close to returning, Johnny. Here's Sire Gaines when I said, how good could this backfield be once you add Breezy to the mix?
Y'all see real soon. Breezy Breezy's Breezy. Like, he's one of the best backs I can ever, like, compete with. You know, me and Breezy, we compete, but it's also a brotherhood between us. Like, even though me and Ash got a good relationship, me and Breezy got a good relationship, because once Ash leave, me and Breezy gonna take over. And then the freshman running back, Dylan Riley, that's another three-headed monster that's gonna have soon.
Multiple things there, but Breezy is Breezy. He's already saying when Ash leaves, they're going to have another three-headed monster there and take over. I mean, Breezy Dubar, Johnny, throughout that game, and again, there's stuff we can't say during the game, but like we saw at practice that Breezy Dubar wasn't practicing a lot and was banged up during fall camp, and we weren't allowed at the time to say anything about that. The coaches have since come out and said, yeah, he was banged up, so now we can kind of talk about it a little bit. But there were a lot of practices, Johnny, where he just wasn't out there, and so fans maybe weren't aware of that. And all of a sudden, you don't see him anywhere in the game, and he doesn't even get a carry or a play, and it's like, wow, is he that far behind now that he's RB3? And maybe he is, but even if he is RB3 behind Gaines, people are forgetting Breezy Dubar is a pretty darn good running back himself. I'll be curious if he is able to play on Saturday, how they work him back into the mix here.
Remember when I told you 2 years ago when Ashton Jeanty was a freshman that he was the best running back on the team and he was better than George Helani? Sire Gaines is better than Breezy Dubar. I can't tell you how good I think Sire Gaines is going to be for this program. As much as they hit on Jeanty, like the length of that home run they belted with Jeanty, Dubar's is in that neighborhood. Like, this guy is serious, dude. And he is going to be tremendous with this program. He's never going to leave. I'm almost thinking, look, if Breezy, hopefully he's back and he can play a great number 3. And obviously next year, Breezy's going to get a lot of action. Breezy, this isn't taking I wasn't taking anything away from George Helani when I said Ashton Jeanty was the best running back on the team. I wasn't. I'm not taking anything away from Breezy Dubar either when I say Sire Gaines is the second best running back on this team. I've seen it all camp, man. Saw it from the first day. He's just built different. He looks different. And Breezy's really good too, and they need him, and they'll use him, and I hope he plays this week because they do need him. Breezy's faster than both of them. He has something in his tool belt that Sire doesn't have, that level of speed. But Sire has so many other tools too at a high level. BJ, they're going to need all three at some point, obviously. But man, I wouldn't. The Breezy story isn't as big for me because it's like I don't need to worry about RB3 when I see RB1 and RB2 in this offensive line. Like, okay, if Breezy is there, wow, because we saw what he could do a little bit last year. They're going to need him at some point, like I said, BJ. But no, it's Ashton and Sire on this thing for me.
All right, speaking of Ashton, remember down at Media Days, he told us he wanted to rush for 2,000 yards. At the time, he needed to average 143, I think it was, yards per game over a 14-game season to get the 2,000 yards. Because of his 267, Johnny, that he had the other day, he now only needs to average 133 yards per game, only 133 yards per game over if they can make a bowl game and a championship game. I know people kind of rolled their eyes, whatever. Like, does what Ashton Jeanty did against Georgia Southern change the percentage you have that he can rush for 2,000 yards this year?
100%. I mean, that's kind of what I needed to see. Remember, all through camp, we're talking about seeing Jeanty every day, and we're like, he's just like the latest model of himself. You know, the car comes out with a new model every year, and they tweak things and do things like this. Is just the next line model of Ashton Jeanty, and it's a lot better than last year's version. A lot better. And then we saw it on Saturday where if he gets the edge and you don't set the edge, man, it's a nightmare for defense. We saw he had 2 runs over 70 yards to the house, too. The guys in the Mountain West aren't going to catch him either, especially if the climate's a little different and he's not cramping up. Dude, he was cramping on that. Ashton Jeanty, I can go down the list. Wyoming, San Jose, Nevada, San Diego, UNLV, Hawaii, Utah State, Portland State. Oh, if he gets 20 carries in every one of those games, he's going to have multiple 200-yard performances in those games. Those teams aren't going to stop him, just like Georgia Southern didn't stop him. The only thing that can stop Ashton Jeanty is Ashton Jeanty, huh? You like that, BJ? He's gonna do, if he gets the touches and he stays healthy, he's going to rush for 2,000 yards, unless all of a sudden he's going to catch 60 or 70 passes and he's going to get a lot of receiving yards that take away some of the rushing. But he's talking about 2,000. The line's talking about 2,000. That's a thing they want to do. And I think the coaches are going to be on board with that mission. Jeanty 2K. It's never been done at this school. Jeanty kicks that door down, gets 2K this year.
And to think he's going to rush for 2,000 yards and finish second in the Mountain West to Marquez Cooper.
I seen what he did today. I don't think he's the type of back that I am. I think I'm the best back in this conference, and I want to make that known.
I'm going to play that almost every day, man. I love that.
You love that. Yeah. I mean, you have to think that way. You have to think that way. I mean, I'm telling you right now, Nevada's starting running back thinks he's better than Ashton Jeanty. You have to have that thought process deep in his head. I mean, Sire Gaines and Breezy Dubar probably think they're better than Ashton Jeanty. It's like you have to have that mentality to even get as far as you can. But yeah, sometimes you don't say that on TV. But good for him. He had a great game. Texas A&M. Commerce. It just destroyed them. But yeah, good backs in the Mountain West. San Diego State's got another good back down there. Hope he has some success, and see him on the Blue Friday night, November 1st. And I guarantee you that's going to come back.
Better chance of happening. Ashton Jeanty rushes for 2,000, or Sire Gaines can get to 1,000.
Man,
does Sire Gaines get to 1,000 this year?
I say both. Yes, I have Sire rushing for 1,000 yards. Absolutely, he might be the second best player on the team. Not kidding. You have to have the ball in his hands. Yeah, maybe if Jeanty's 17, 1,800, so Sire can be 11 or just over 1,000. Yeah. But I mean, there's going to be games too, I think, or if Jeanty misses a game or two, and maybe 1,000. How about this? 1,000 scrimmage yards, not 1,000 rushing yards for Sire. Give him 1,000 scrimmage, like 800 rushing, 200 receiving. But yeah, he's going to get the ball, you guys, the second most of any player on this team. Sire Gaines will have the second most touches on this team outside of Ashton Jeanty, not counting, of course, Maddox Madsen. They will get him the ball.
Okay, Johnny, we put this all together last minute or two here. Saturday, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, Peacock, Autzen Stadium, Boise State, Oregon. Like just your final thoughts, man. It's a huge game for Boise State. Obviously, we'll talk about it tomorrow with Jay. Jay's actually driving over today, so we'll have Jay live in Eugene tomorrow on the show, and then obviously we'll have our pregame show live from the field at Autzen Stadium on Saturday. And I think, by the way, are you going to join postgame with Sanford?
Once Beeler gets off post-game,
you'll be on about 40 minutes after the game. Sanford's going to start it off himself. You're going to jump a little bit after that and give some thoughts, because you guys don't have a post-game show this week. So you will get some John Mallory, Mike Sanford Ball Talk post-game edition after the game on Saturday. Looking forward to that. But what are you going to be talking about, man? What do you think? Just your final thoughts, at least on this program until the game on Saturday. How you feeling?
As a football fan, I took these Boise State moments for granted. Never been a Boise State fan, but have admired what they've done and respected the hell out of the program, and was happy they were good. Even as a Vandal, they were good for college football. They played a really fun role. They were interesting. They were sexy. They were cool, right? And I think I took for granted them being on this stage. And it's a little different in week one. There's just the unknown. Week two's better. Both teams are 1-0. And all of a sudden you get Boise State like, uh-oh, are they back? I mean, it felt like they had one of these games every year for like a decade, and this game feels like one of those games. Like you just think about it all week. Like you just can't finish the week quick enough. I mean, I think it's up there for that. And Oregon's thirsty. That stadium's ready. This is why people love college football. It's going to be a lot of fun, BJ.
Looking forward to it. What do we got coming up today on Idaho Sports Talk?
Well, NFL kickoff, man. Like you're wearing your Chiefs gear. We'll predict some games for college football this year. Obviously, we got some coaches working on an ex-Boise State player to possibly bring on as well. And getting ready for tomorrow on Friday, BJ. Steve Young, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and the only BYU quarterback Mike Prater will allow on Idaho Sports Talk. We have booked, thanks to our team at Camp Rainbow Gold. Steve Young will be on Idaho Sports Talk on our Football Friday, previewing the NFL season and obviously talking some college football too.
And I'll join you guys from Eugene as well tomorrow. I'm not ending the show, folks. Johnny's getting off to get ready for his show, but I'm going to stay on and keep this thing rolling for a little while. But Johnny, real quickly, ball talk. That was fun last night.
Yeah, Sandman. Mike Sanford brings Mark Schlereth on. He tells me, he's like, okay, I got a plan. I want to bring this guy on. I'm like, well, who is it? He's like, Mark Schlereth. I'm like, dude, you know he's a vandal, right? He's like, yes, of course I know he's a vandal. That's why we want to bring him on. And Sanford sold me on it like, no, it's going to be great. Trust me, he's going to be fun. And I was like, dude, you don't have to sell me on bringing Stink on Ball Talk. 32 minutes, man, 32 minutes. And it was fun. And it was X's and O's stuff, like just sitting there. And you can see my big ass grin during the whole thing. I'm just like, I love it. But Sanford and Stink talking about duo blocking schemes and really nerdy stuff that we want to be a part of Ball Talk. You know, I want Coach Sanford to make us all smarter about football. And him and Stink were doing that last night. You got to go watch that episode of Ball Talk. We've been doing it for 2 years. Might be the best one we've done. It's awesome.
And you had the Corner Club shirt on.
I did. Yep, I did. Thanks, BJ. They appreciate it.
Johnny, appreciate it, man. We'll see John Mallory later. You can see him at 3:00 on Idaho Sports Talk. I'm going to keep this thing rolling. If you got another comment or question on the game, I do want to thank a couple of our sponsors real quick. Lithia Ford, check them out. The fall kickoff sale is underway. They got NIL deals with 6 student athletes at Boise State, including 4 football players. Ahmed Hassanin, you see Jonah Dalmas on the screen, Matt Lauder, and Andrew Simpson, all rocking vehicles. So check them out, LithiaFordBoise.com. Vehicles, and next time you're looking to buy that car or truck, one of the biggest supporters of Boise State, one of the biggest supporters of Bronco Nation News, make sure you return the favor and buy it at Lithia Ford of Boise. Taco Bell, you looking for a meal? Perfect meal. They got those dollar cheesy roll-ups. It's cheap. It's delicious food. Just check it out, Taco Bell. And, you know, obviously everybody knows, been around a long time, but the Treasure Valley locations are owned and operated by the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, and they're big supporters of Bronco Nation News. So if you're looking for a meal, please support those that support Bronco Nation News and head out to Taco Bell, one of the Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations. And again, they're hiring, so if you need a job, check out TacoBellWorks.com. TCS, Transportation Compliance Service, 866-813-7620. If you're looking for a new job, you can get into the trucking industry. They'll help sign you up, all the permits and things, DOT, overweight, everything you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. Maybe you never thought about the trucking industry, but you should. Check them out, transcomservice.com. You looking for Boise State gear? You heading over to Eugene tomorrow? You need a new shirt, new sweatshirt, new jacket, new hat. Get you ready for the season. Head on over to the blueandorange.store.com. You can order anywhere in the world. They got the expedited shipping. You can have it in just a couple of days. And if you're in the Boise area, just go to the Boise Town Square Mall there, the second floor next to Perimage, an entire store dedicated to Boise State gear. And believe me, there's a lot of options around town to buy your Boise State gear. I get it. Some are convenient and closer, but the Blue and Orange store is the best. It's got the most comprehensive, largest selection, and they've been around since 2006 when it all began for Boise State with that first Fiesta Bowl. So check them out. Travis Hawks, big supporter of BNN. Return the favor. Head on into the Blue and Orange store. Check them out, the Blue and Orange store. Hopefully on Monday you can get that 91-cent coffee or fountain drink if Ahmed Hassanin gets a sack. Jackson's is giving out 91-cent coffee or fountain drink on Mondays after the game. So Ahmed Hassanin gets a sack, and you get a 91-cent coffee or fountain drink on Monday. And now that it sounds like Breezy Dubar is going to be back real soon, we'll see if that's Saturday. If Breezy Dubar can get in the end zone, how about a Breezy bundle? For just $1, you get a hot dog and a fountain drink on Tuesdays following the game. So hopefully Breezy can get back and get in the end zone. We can get a hot dog and a soda for $1 on Tuesdays. And shout out again, Alex Martin, 208 Lawn and Landscape. He'll be by to cut the grass today. If you're looking for a lawn, landscape, any kind of grass cutting, tree trimming, I cannot highly recommend enough what Alex Martin and 208 Lawn and Landscape are doing. They also do bounce house rentals as well, as you see here on the screen. So if you need a bounce house for a birthday party, church function, you name it, very affordable prices for bounce house rentals. They've got 10 different ones to choose from. Alex Martin, whether it's a bounce house, whether it's 208 Lawn and Landscape, all your landscaping needs, check them out. 417-629-6832. Our friend Alex Martin at 208 Lawn and Landscape. Another pick of John Mallory, by the way. You see him there on the screen enjoying himself. And then here he is post game. And that's so on brand for John Mallory to go find the camera and get right behind it to make sure he's on TV for all of his friends at the broadcast there. But we got some comments rolling in. Let's see. Score prediction for Saturday night. Do you agree with the 19.5-point spread? I got to be honest. It changes by the day, but I just think this is going to be really hard for Boise State to win. I think that 19.5 could end up being about right. But I think Oregon is really, really good, and I just think that this is a really tough game. Would it shock me if Boise State's in the fourth quarter in a one-score game? No. I think Boise State's defense is going to be better than it was, but I think Oregon's offense is going to be better than it was. And I think that certainly Ashton Jeanty is very talented, and Boise State has a good running game, but Oregon's defense is not Georgia Southern's defense. And I don't think you're going to be running for 370 yards in this game on Saturday. So I don't know if I have an official prediction yet, but you're probably somewhere in the 45-24 range, something like that. I think Boise State can score a little bit. Just don't know if they can score enough to win this game. I hope I'm wrong. I hope for all your sake they can play well and win the game. That would certainly be amazing, but I think that's a lot to ask right now to just go out and just full out predict, being honest, a win for Boise State on Saturday. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. Melinda Draper, best customer service at the Blue and Orange store, was in there yesterday. They have lots of cool new gear. Awesome, Melinda. Appreciate you for saying that, for heading in there to check out the Blue and Orange store. And yeah, they do. They've got great NIL shirts, whether it be the Ashton Jeanty Heisman shirts, all that good stuff, and awesome hat selection. And so get in there and check out some of their hats and sweatshirts, and they got like the clearance racks up at the front with some great deals all the time. So make sure you check them out. But appreciate you guys. We got to get down. Spencer Danielson and the coaches are talking in about an hour, 1 hour till the coaches talk. Obviously looking forward to tonight. Chiefs game opening the season. I am putting my phone on airplane mode because I got to coach a kid's baseball practice. So there's probably going to be some Boise State news happening between like 6:20 and 7:30 so I can come back and rewatch the Chiefs game. So my phone will be on airplane mode and I'll have nothing going on. And somebody mentioned the Rams. Like, yeah, I'm not like diehard Chiefs. I just like the NFL and I like Travis Kelce and I like Patrick Mahomes. And so, yeah, my was the St. Louis Rams. And when they left town, it was super hard for me to get into the NFL. And I Drew, if you want to say I'm a fake Chiefs fan, I'm not totally, denying that. I just like good football and wanted to have some team that I could have some investment in after my Rams left town. And so I actually started watching them when Alex Smith, when the Rams were still in St. Louis, started following the Chiefs. My wife is friends with some of Alex Smith's family. And we started watching the Chiefs when we moved here in 2013, 2014 with some of Alex Smith's extended family that lives in Boise. And I started following them, and I went to KU, obviously, close to Kansas City, been to some Chiefs games and things there. 45-minute drive from Lawrence to Kansas City. KU, where I went to college, is playing their home games in conference this year at Arrowhead Stadium while they renovate the stadium in Lawrence. So, yeah, I'm not a diehard Chiefs fan. I don't live and die with the Chiefs like I would a Blues playoff game or a Cardinals playoff game or something like that. But no, I just want to have some skin in the game. So I kind of decided the Chiefs were going to be the team that we'll pull for and, it's been fun so far. So excited for the season. We've got our Millions contest going on with Circa. We got our Survivor contest. I believe I'm leaning towards the Cincinnati Bengals for the Survivor pick for the $1,000 entry Survivor pool, $10 million winner take all. It's almost up to $11 million now because they're so far over the pot. And I think we're going Bengals. I'm also thinking Bills. So if you like one of those teams better, actually Seahawks are the three we're looking at. Seahawks, Bills, Bengals for the Survivor contest week 1 as we look to move on in the contest and win the $11 million. And I told you guys when we win the contest, everybody gets a free year of BNN moving forward here. And I know the Draper family are hard at work studying their picks for the week. And Brad Bedell and Kent Riddle and Connor Johnstone and the Beaver family, and we got a lot of folks that went down to sign up at contest weekend last week, and we got like 9 or 10 entries associated with Bronco Nation News. So I hope one of them can get in the money. That'd be pretty cool, or at least last a while, so we have some fun stuff to talk about. So appreciate you guys for checking out the show. Go support the sponsors. Again, make sure you join us Saturday night if you're looking for a place to watch the game. If you don't have Peacock or you don't want to pay to download it, and you're saying, hey, where can we go hang out and watch the game with some other Boise State fans, come on out to the National. It's inside House of Western, right there on Idaho Street in downtown Boise. They've got 3 concepts. They have Due West over to the left, Western proper, House of Western in the back, and the National Bar is over on the right. And it was packed. They had the sound on. They have, as I said, $3 Horseshoe Golden Ales, discounts on drinks, food, and 10% of the proceeds goes to benefit the Horseshoe Collective and put money back in the pockets of these student athletes at Boise State. So get your friends together. Come on down Saturday night to the National there at the House of Western, and we'll be raffling off. All you have to do is show my wife, Karen, who's going to be there, that you subscribe to Bronco Nation News on YouTube. Then we'll enter you in a drawing to give away a $50 gift card, which could pay for your tab there while you're there at House of Western. So make sure to check that out Saturday night. We're actually going to join Tyler Shoemaker. I mentioned Tyler Shoemaker is the special guest. We're going to join him live at 7:15. About 7:15 for the 8 p.m. kickoff. We're going to do a live hit on the pregame show. So if you want to be on the pregame show and be a part of the Bronco Nation News pregame show, be at House of Western, Western proper by 7:15. And at 7:15, we're going to link in with him live, and we'll hopefully have some screaming fans in the background and be, try to have some fun doing that as we get you set for kickoff. We will be live about 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, we'll be live about 6 to 7:30 for the pregame show leading into the 8 p.m. kickoff. So 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure you make plans to join us for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show on Saturday. But we're going to go talk to Spencer Danielson, get some final updates. We'll go talk to James Montgomery. A couple other coaches are talking as well. Thursday is the assistant coach day and Spencer day. Tuesday and Wednesday we get players, and then Thursdays during the week we'll get the coaches. So coaches talking again today. Looking forward to that. And then, as I said, 9 a.m. tomorrow, Jay Tussle will join me live from Eugene as we get you set for this one. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. We will go talk to the coaches. We'll get those interviews posted to the YouTube channel. Again, hit like on this video, please. It really does help. Just take a quick second, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button. And if you're not already a subscriber to the BNN YouTube channel, please do that as well. It only takes a couple of seconds, and we'd love to have you as our channel continues to grow here. So have a great rest of your day. We'll go get our interviews. We'll get those posted to the YouTube channel. We'll talk to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow with Jay Tuss in Eugene. I fly out about 11:30 tomorrow to Eugene as well. So I'm looking forward to getting over there and getting ready for Saturday's game. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Bronco Nation News Live, Bronco Nation News. Oh, by the way, the site wasn't working this morning. If you try to log in to BroncoNationNews.com, the site is not working. You can read the stories, but if you're a paid subscriber and something's behind the paywall and it's telling you to log in and your password's not working, just give it time. I'm working on it. We'll get that updated here real quickly. It may already be fixed, to be honest with you. So thanks. We'll talk to you soon. Bronco Nation News Live. Our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. All your painting needs. Make sure you check them out. rowpaint.com from the Western Collective Studios. My name is BJ Rains, and this is Bronco Nation News Live here at bronconationnews.com.
Bronco Nation News is presented by rowpaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, by Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Western Collective, by Jackson's, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Bauscher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, by Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and by Timberstone Golf Course.